The Chantry teaches us that it is the hubris of men which brought the Darkspawn into our world. The mages had sought to usurp heaven, but instead, they destroyed it. They were cast out, twisted and cursed by their own corruption. They returned as monsters, the first of the Darkspawn. They became a blight upon the lands, unstoppable and relentless. The Dwarven kingdoms were the first to fall, and from the deep roads, the Darkspawn drove at us again and again, until finally we neared annihilation. Until the Grey Wardens came. Men and women from every race, warriors and mages, barbarians and kings. The Grey Wardens sacrificed everything to stem the tide of darkness, and prevailed. It has been 4 centuries since that victory, and we have kept our vigil. We have watched and waited for the Darkspawn to return. But those who once called us heroes have forgotten. We are few now, and our warnings have been ignored for too long. It may even be too late, for I have seen with my own eyes what lies on the horizon. Maker, help us all.
Greetings.
Greetings.
Charmed, I'm sure.
Greetings.
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 Charmed, I'm sure.
Greetings.
Deep beneath the Frostback Mountains sits Orzammar, the larger of two known remaining dwarven cities in the world. Orzammar was once the seat of a major empire connected by tunnels called Deep Roads, which stretched thousands of miles. The city now stands alone, cut off from the rest of the dwarven ancestral lands by the Darkspawn incursion. Secure in Orzammar's impregnable construction, the dwarven noble houses continue their centuries-old power struggles. Assassination and blackmail are commonplace, but the appearance of honor is paramount. You are the second child of King Endrin of House Aiducan, the 9th Aiducan ruler elected by the Noble Assembly. You grew up in a world rife with political intrigue, and have struggled against brothers and cousins for honor and prestige. Today, a feast celebrates your first military commission, the opening move towards real power in the ever-changing game of dwarven politics.
Greetings, my lord. You are dressed and ready. Excellent. I couldn't find the armor's matching dagger, but I scrounged up a rather fancy longsword. Do you wish to wear your shield to the noble's feast? Of course, if every other noble has a shield and 3 swords, you'll feel awfully underdressed. One can't take all this marching about and speech-making too seriously. Moving on to the business at hand. The king expects you to make an appearance at the feast, but there's no rush. The noble family heads will spend hours boring your father with petitions and petty grievances. The usual. This lord had my cousin killed, this lord seduced my wife, this lord did the exact thing I'd planned to do to him, but he did it first. They pose and bluster, and each pretends he is the honorable man in a den of thieves and assassins. Bah! The rest is worth seeing, though. As part of the celebrations, permits have been auctioned off to members of the merchant caste who wish to sell wares in the Diamond Quarter. Lord Harrowmont has also opened up the provings for young warriors to test their mettle before tomorrow's battle. Perhaps we should go show them what single combat is really all about. And by we, I mean you. I'll practice my cheering. Right behind you, my lord. The day is ours until the feast.
Congratulations on being named commander.
My Lord Balin? Oh, I'm sorry. I am so sorry, Your Highness. I'm sorry. I thought you were Prince Balin coming down the hall. Forgive me. I will show myself out, with your leave, my lord. Thank you. I will go now.
Your father has allowed the merchants to show their
I'm sure we
wares
can
in the
work this
dining
out
quarters during
reasonably.
these celebrations.
It's in the records. There's nothing I can do. Please, Master Volney. My work is accredited by the Shaper.
These books are lies written by the enemies of House Volney.
I write only what I find in the ancient records. Lord Iduken, you can vouch for my work, can't you? Your father loved my History of Iduken, Paragon King, Peacemaker.
This worm has written a book that slanders my house. He deserves to die for what he has written of Paragon Volney.
My work tells the stories of all those raised to paragons in the last 500 years. When the Assembly names a paragon, that man or woman is then, by definition, everything one can aspire to be in the world. They form their own noble houses and are revered as living ancestors. But paragons start off as men.
Volney was more than a man.
Iduken was much loved, but he was still a man. He was plagued by melancholy, and his fervor regarding Orzamar's safety bordered on obsession. When Iduken was proposed as a paragon, only one lord in the assembly objected. The others savagely hacked him to death. Iduken's motion passed without a single dissenting vote.
Unlike Volney, is that what you mean, old man?
Volney became a paragon by the narrowest margin in history. One vote. A vote mired in rumors of intimidation, intrigue, and outright bribery. The records of that vote are kept in the Shaperate and are a matter of fact. Not liking history doesn't make it any less true.
You're taking his side? What if he published a book like this about your paragon Iduken? You would not say so if it was your house, but I shall respect your wishes. For now. Excuse me, Your Highness.
That fool has no idea how weak his house is or how low he sits in it. Shall I have him killed, my lord? As you say.
You've shown House Iduken a friend to research, history, and the glory of our people. Of course, I have much to document and organize. Good day, Your Highness, and thank you.
The finest in home decorations!
But my lord, these are surface silks, dyed with the finest saffron and indigo and embroidered by skilled elven... My lord Iduken, you honor me by visiting my humble booth. May I show you my wares? Please, look as you will.
Nothing beats a good set of steel cutlery.
Atrast follow, big brother. How surprising to run into you out among the common folk.
Especially since duty requires that you attend our King Father at the feast today. Have you so little respect for him to disregard his wishes on a day set aside for you?
Lord Harrowmont told me we wouldn't be needed for hours at least.
Silence! If I want the opinion of my siblings second, I will ask for it.
Yes, Your Highness.
I speak to lower houses and castes as they should be spoken to. Now do as I say. Your lack of a sense of duty to your house is obvious. I can't imagine why you're receiving a commission. I expect after tomorrow I'll spend much time apologizing to the heads of the noble houses for the deaths of their children under your incompetent command.
That's a bit harsh, isn't it, Trian?
As heir to the throne, it is my duty to impart wisdom and judgment upon those who need it. Now then, you, get to the feast. Stubborn, aren't you? When I'm king, I will help you get over that. Come, Balin.
That was fun. Nothing like being talked down to by the next king. We can only hope. Perhaps we should get going?
My lord Iduken, nothing here rivals your amazing Iduken armor, but if you wish something made...
You know very well House Iduken has its own royal armorers.
Of course. Forgive me. Your Highness's legendary prowess is matched only by your kindness. I buy only the finest iron ore, and personally oversee the armor's crafting by the most skillful of the smith caste. Of course, the honor was all mine.
Nonsense, woman. Your words bring shame upon our house. See how the edges are rough and pitted? Would you compare this to Bronca's work?
What about that one?
I doubt he's up to the task. I'm not going down that road again.
Oh, I would love to end up with a red head.
Would that Sir Blackstone were a noble, hmm? Stand up straight. They're coming.
What have we here? Two handsome, strapping, noble lords. You both look so grand.
And isn't this the man of the hour, the king's son?
Who's your friend, my lord? Another noble from the honored House Iduken?
But not from a noble house, girls. Sargorum, warrior caste.
Oh, that's too bad. You're quite handsome.
They're noble hunters, my lord. A man takes his caste from his father, and these women hope to bear a noble lord's son. If one is successful, she's raised up to concubine in the noble house to care for her child. It provides new sword arms for the house, and many nobles look favorably on such women.
You're the most appealing, obviously. A noble from the best house there is. Handsome, too. Are you interested in a bit of bedded diversion? Shall I come to your chambers after the ceremony, then?
I talked to him first. I want him.
He's looking for a woman, Telly, not a little girl. I'm Marty, and I know how to give my lord a night he'll remember.
Oh, my lord has his energy about him.
There will be no three to a bed, if that's what you're thinking. We both require full experiences all to ourselves. If you think you can manage us both, though... This should prove most interesting. We will wait for you together, my lord, and show you the proper way to celebrate a princely commission.
exciting.
Invest in the next great trade expedition.
Greetings, my lord Iduken. I am so honored to have you visit my booth. I have a proposition, but I dared not approach.
Yet you dare now. Very well then, speak.
Yes, just so. Here's the thing. What I mean to say is... Sorry. So nervous. I had a dagger made, for you, as a gift for your first command. Sent a messenger to deliver the dagger to you. Prince Trian had him thrown out. I don't know what offense he caused, but I had him beaten severely. Won't you at least look at the dagger? Of course. 1,000 thanks to you. Here it is, your highness.
That's an amazing piece, merchant.
You do me much honor, sir. The blade has been crafted over a period of 2 years by masters of every art. I wish to bless the Lord's first command, and hope that someday, when he rules, he will wear it.
Trian is heir. He will rule when King Endrin returns to the stone.
If the Assembly wills it. Forgive me, sir, but whispers say the second child of Endrin will be chosen.
Whispers indeed. It's a princely gift. If Trian recognizes it, though, it may send the wrong message. Or the right one, depending on your view.
Of course. Please accept my humblest apologies to House Iduken.
Watch yourself in the future.
Lord Iduken, here? In my booth? I am so...
He's fainted. You make quite the impression these days. Is it hard to be the king's child, never able to just blend in? It's the price of power, I suppose. Shall we move along?
My lord, are you heading to the proving arena? We have been charged with the task of escorting you to the proving grounds.
I clean forgot about that. Forgive me, I should have informed you sooner. The king decided you were not to travel through the commons unguarded.
Will we be leaving then? We are at your command.
Your Highness, it is an honor to have you here. Have you come to watch these brave warriors do battle in your honor? Your presence encourages the fighters to greater feats. I'll call the first fighters in a moment.
Greetings, Lord Iduken. Are you enjoying the proving so far? Your presence will inspire these fighters to even greater effort.
This is the lead trainer of the provings, my lord. He teaches nobles from lower houses without their own trainers, and the best young men from the warrior caste.
You are too kind. Did the two of you hear about the scandal here last week?
We've been preparing for tomorrow's battle, and have had little time for gossip.
The Grey Wardens are in Orzammar, searching for recruits.
So the warrior caste arranged a proving. The goal was for the Grey Wardens to recruit the winner, bringing him honor and a chance for glory. Well, yes and no. It was like nothing I've ever seen. Sir Everd, fresh from fighting Darkspawn, got dead drunk before the proving. Then some casteless bruiser took Sir Everd's armor, wore it, and won the proving.
Lord Iduken likes to see the world shaken up.
Well, shake up the world it did. They took the imposter to jail. I assume to be thrown into the deep roads as meat for the Darkspawn. The warrior caste is in an uproar. An incident like this raises many questions. Well, how the brand got in here to begin with.
Or how a casteless learned to fight like that. They aren't even allowed to possess weapons.
I've heard they fight in the slums with the old cast-offs. I'm almost curious to see.
I doubt King Endrin would approve of that.
Ha! I suppose not. All right, I have to go check on the fighters. It was an honor to speak with you, Your Highness. My thanks. Segura, I'll see you later. Good luck tomorrow, the both of you.
I'm glad to see you up and around. Would you like to congratulate today's winner? Then I shall call him. Franklin!
I am here.
Will you receive honor from Lord Iduken?
Of course. I am honored by your presence. Thank you, Your Highness.
It was a night of honor and glory that will be spoken of for years to come. Be well, all of you.
It's a great day for approving.
Good day, Lord Iduken.
Good luck tomorrow.
My lord? We will take a break when we are done here. For now, we are here to serve. Your wish is our command.
proud.
I can't do that.
I am at your service.
Good day. I can't do that.
No sign of trouble.
Look, the Grey Wardens are here.
My lord,
Tomorrow must be more than a standard mission. The Wardens only go where the Darkspawn of the Great...
Many thanks for your willingness to hear me out, my lord. I wish to speak to you of a matter most urgent. There is a vote coming before the Assembly next week, and a word from you could go a long way towards helping our cause. The vote concerns the status of the so-called surface caste. Lost to the stone, air-touched, and so forth. Centuries ago, narrow-minded men declared that any dwarf who left to live on the surface forfeited his caste, and his house if noble. That he was, in essence, no longer a dwarf. I seek only to remedy an injustice, to retie the bonds of anyone who can trace himself to one of the noble houses wherever he may live. Please, agree to speak for this noble cause. When your father presents you to the noble houses, I will ask for your opinion on the matter. You have merely to say that you feel our surface brothers should be returned their noble rights. What could be more simple?
You're a fool. Your mother would melt the stone if she knew what you just did. Lord Dace is playing you false. Go ahead, be his puppet. Your first command will be marked by every major house turning their back on you. If you are to play in the games of the Assembly, make sure you know the motivations of the players. Last spring, a guild from the Merchant caste invested heavily in an expedition with a guild from the surface. Lord Dace backed the Merchant Guild, pouring a great deal of money into the venture. The expedition was a disaster. Lord Dace lost a great deal of money and prestige. The Surface Guild has no way to repay the investment, but it does have several leading members who are descended from noble houses. House Helmi, Bimo, Dukin.
She's saying that if the air-touched dwarves have their connections to their houses restored, you'll end up footing the bill for Lord Dace's disaster.
Oh, if I were 20 years younger, I'd bed you just to get some of that quick wit in my house. Your house and mine would be forced to pay the Surfacer's kin debts. It would be a great victory for Lord Dace. The Surface caste gave up their noble ties willingly, generations ago. Will you humiliate your house and your father for them? Well, don't think too long.
You return. Were my instructions unclear? And what did she have to say? I see. Some preposterous story, I'm sure. I suppose it could. I mean, well, it's the spirit of the law that's important, right? Our poor, disenfranchised service brothers. Ah, well played, Your Highness. Welcome to Assembly politics. Now, if you'll excuse me... You've won. Don't be stupid about it.
You forget who you're speaking to. This is the guest of honor and child of the first house of Orzammar.
For now. We shall see what the future holds. Trian's grasp on the throne is in no way certain, and much can happen before then. Now let me be. You haven't made a friend here today.
May House Educan grow in strength and power.
Greetings, my Lord Idukan. It is an honor to meet you at last. I have had the opportunity to recently meet with your father. He speaks highly of you. He says you may be the most skilled warrior in all of House Idukan. I have no doubt it is deserved. We need more Grey Wardens like you, and quickly. Even as the Darkspawn weaken here in Orzammar, they are stirring on the surface. A blight has begun. Soon the fight must go beyond the deep roads, lest the Darkspawn threaten all the world. Alas, I do not think he would take kindly to that suggestion. As the child of the king and heir after Lord Trian, your place is here. I wish you luck in the deep roads tomorrow. Show the Darkspawn the might of your people.
My king, please reconsider. The trade contracts alone could bring great prosperity to our houses.
Will we really turn our back on our brothers and a potential fortune in cheap labor because of a political technicality?
Denial of the traditions of our people does not qualify as a political technicality. There is more to life than monetary gains, my lords Bimo and Mino. The Assembly of Kal Sharrak will respect the rule of Orzammar, or they will rot and die alone, surrounded by enemies.
Yes, my king.
But look, we have company to spare us further wrangling. Atrast Vala, my son. How fine you look in your great-grandfather's armor. Are you ready to be presented to the heads of the noble houses? So dutiful. Very well, let us begin. Lords, ladies, grant me a moment of your time. We are here today so I may present to you my second eldest child, blessed by the stone and born of the blood that ran in the veins of the Paragon Idukan. Who would pose a question to the prospective commander? Who seeks to know the prospect better? No? Very well then. The ritual is complete. I give you Orzammar's next commander. Tomorrow, our newest commander will lead part of a mission to strike a great blow to the Darkspawn. Not only does this recover access to some of our most important mines, but it also allows our honored guest Duncan, head of Ferelden's Grey Wardens, to strike far into the deep roads.
Thank you, King Endrin. While the Darkspawn seem to withdraw, it is only because they are massing on the surface. This could mean a blight, and my men and I will discover the truth.
We are honored to have you with us, my friend. Now, feast, drink, and celebrate, for the morning brings battle! As for you, my new commander, find your brother Trian and send him to me. He may be watching the provings, or getting some rest in his rooms. Walk well, Commander.
Well played for once.
I am at your service.
So you're a commander now, in name at least. Shouldn't you be attending our King Father? Of course he does. We must discuss strategy before tomorrow's battle. Balin, stay here and stroke the new commander's conceit if you like. But then get to bed.
All day I've put up with that. He can really grate on the nerves. Is it also his right to secure his own power at the expense of everyone around him? Probably not. But you need to all the same. Trian has begun to move against you. I never thought his much-proclaimed honor would allow him to actually act on his jealousy. Big brother, Trian is going to try to kill you. I overheard him giving orders to some of his men, and I was shocked. Then it began to make sense. Trian's decided you're a threat to his taking the throne. Maybe he's right. He fears what you are becoming, in the eyes of the people and the Assembly. Trian's the named prince, but only the Assembly can proclaim a king. It would be unusual for the Assembly to ignore the king's choice, but it does happen.
The founder of House Bimo became a paragon and king in one move from the Assembly, and he was a commoner.
That was an extraordinary case, but at least a half-dozen times the Assembly named a lesser family member, or even someone from another house, as king. Usually, it's the popular younger brother of an undesirable prince. Look at it from his perspective. You're more personable than he's ever been. If you win glory against the Darkspawn tomorrow, it will only strengthen the case for you as the next heir. Trian fears father will replace him on the spot. If not, the Assembly will surely turn against him when father dies. You know his pride will never allow him to step aside. You're my elder. I'll respect any decision you make, but please be careful. I don't want to lose the brother I actually like. I hope you're right, but my heart says this will end badly. I'm taking your place as father's second, so I'll be at hand tomorrow. For now, try to get some sleep.
Let's go. You don't want to keep those lovely ladies waiting.
Trian and his men will clear the way for the Grey Wardens to descend into the easternmost caverns. Those caverns are still infested by the worst of the Darkspawn. We cannot risk our own troops in there.
Understood, Lord Haramont. We should be able to sense the Darkspawn and avoid them once the way is open.
May the Paragons favor you, and the stone catch you if you fall.
Come, men! Glory awaits!
Balin, you and your men will second the king, clearing the main road.
Don't you think it looks a little cowardly to allow these humans to take our place where the fighting is thickest?
Are you questioning the battle plan?
Of course not. I'm sure your caution is for the glory of us all.
Enough, Balin. Take your men and make ready. Haramont and I need to have words with your sibling.
Good luck, my brother.
Your father has a special mission for you.
In the eastern deep roads, there is a secret door carved into the stone.
The door leads to a Taig, abandoned long ago by your ancestors. The Darkspawn have made it impossible to reach.
My father believed that the shield of the Paragon Iduken remains in that Taig, under the stones of the central room. Reclaim the shield, and glory will be yours. My father's writings speak only of the shield. There may be countless other treasures, but only the shield matters.
We've sent 2 scouts ahead to make sure the tunnels are cleared. But be careful. One of the scouts will meet you at the first crossroads you come to. The second will be further in. When you get to the door, use your signet ring to open it. Questions? Very good. The crossroads where you meet the first scout will be the rendezvous point. There you can present the shield to the lords and demonstrate the strength of Iduken.
May the ancestors watch over you, my child.
You made it, Commander. Did you run afoul of any Darkspawn? Still, that was more than we expected. Once I finished scouting the tunnels, I hid here to avoid the Darkspawn. Most tunnels are dead ends. The one we want is swarming with those fiends. It's going to be a fight. As you say, onward then.
This is a nasty one. All right, all right. I'll get up. All right. Can I get you a ladder? Get up. You have no skill, only desperation. No end to these blasted things! Sounds better than Right. I'll get up. Can I get you a ladder? Get up. Stone curse duster! Yeah! I'll show you some pain!
You're here. I thought the Darkspawn had got you for sure. That's all you can hope for down here. We want the tunnel ahead, but there are Darkspawn tracks all over it. Be careful. I haven't ventured more than 100 yards ahead for fear of alerting other Darkspawn. I'll follow your lead, Commander.
Darkspawn!
All right. I'll get on it. All right. Now's better than later. Oh, you're going to be sorry.
Looks like someone beat us to the door.
This Darkspawn body is still fresh. Whoever opened the door is most likely still in there.
It could have been stolen, recently, or generations back.
Or it could be an ambitious cousin out for his own glory.
Understood. Let's move, men.
So glad you could finally join us. We feared you'd gotten eaten by Darkspawn. Turns out the shield isn't quite as easy to retrieve as I was led to believe. I wager you know where it is, though. So maybe you tell me where it is, and I won't mutilate your body so bad your father doesn't recognize you. I'm your better, that's who. And as to how I got in, that's a question you'll have to ask the stone after I butcher you. Now, where's the shield? Bit for bite, huh? Both of us banking on killing the other and losing nothing by the telling? Very well. One of Prince Trian's men brought me this ring. It opened the door just fine. Now, where is the sodding shield? See, boys? Even a nobleman recognizes his betters. Now kill these idiots.
I see enemies ahead. Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
Thanks. Oh. Be off. Ah! Got it. Be off with you then.
I don't think I can do that.
Drive them back!
Is that really Trian's signet ring? Or it may be a warning for us to keep our guard up. If you say so. Now perhaps we should find the shield.
All right. Breaking a sweat already? Ha ha!
This is the room. How do we get the shield? You two, see if you can spot anything. It seems some of these tiles are different from the others. That's it. We've got it.
Doesn't look like much. The skill of our crafters has come far since then. But still, the Shield of Iduken.
I can feel it. It's inspirational.
If you say so. It's just a shield. We need to get to the other rendezvous point. Back in the direction we came from, at the crossroads.
To the crossroads.
For Orzammar! Any more of those mercenaries? I'll get him. This one won't be a problem.
Trian were really scheming against us, this would be the perfect place for an ambush. We've got the shield, and we're all alone out here. I wish I had your confidence.
What's that you're muttering about? Uh-huh. All right, then.
By the stone, it's Trian.
It must have been a Darkspawn attack. This doesn't look like Darkspawn. No bites, no scratches, no mutilation. Your brother?
Someone's coming.
Hurry, Father, before it's too...
By all the ancestors, what has happened here?
It seems we weren't fast enough. Bayland was right.
My son, tell me this isn't what it looks like.
Just long enough to slay Trian.
My lord is innocent.
Sir Gorham, your loyalty makes you a useless witness. It falls to others to tell the story. You, Scout, what happened here?
Trian and his men were here early. It seems they'd done battle with the Darkspawn. Lord Iduken came up to them all friendly-like, but when we got close, he ordered us to attack.
It is a valid question. The man is low-born and could easily be bought.
Frandlin Ivo, you are a good and noble man. Did the scout speak the truth?
He did, my lord. It was terrible. Prince Trian didn't stand a chance. Afterward, my lord stripped his signet ring.
You treacherous bastard!
Silence, Gorham! Do you have anything else to say, my son?
The Assembly will see through you. Everyone knows I was Trian's faithful second.
Bind him. He will be judged before the Assembly. To Orzammar.
You've got 10 minutes, sir. Orders and all. You understand?
Of course. Leave us alone, will you, please?
Yes, sir.
I would have come sooner had they allowed it. How are you? I could be better. I have bad news, though. The Assembly isn't going to call for you. Balin has taken Trian's place in the Assembly. He introduced a motion to condemn you immediately, and it easily passed. He had fully half the Assembly ready to vote on something completely against tradition and justice. He must have been making deals and alliances for months, if not years. He's more clever than either of us ever thought. Some of the lords, especially Harrowmont, are suspicious of Balin's instant rise to power. They are rallying, but far too slowly. The Assembly has already sentenced both of us. My knighthood will be stripped, my name torn from my family records. But I will be allowed to attempt some sort of life on the surface. Lord Harrowmont moved for a similar exile for you, but Balin's supporters overwhelmed him. You are to be sealed in the deep roads to fight Darkspawn until you are overwhelmed and killed. That may have been Balin's first mistake. Lord Harrowmont gave me access to see you so I could tell you this. Duncan and the Grey Wardens are still in the deep roads, in tunnels connected to those you are to be left in. If you survive long enough to find the Grey Wardens, you may be able to escape with Duncan. Our time is up. May the Paragons guide your sword and the stone hold you up. I will always be your man, my Lord Iduken.
They are ready for you now. Here is the prisoner, Lord Harrowmont.
Having been found guilty of fratricide by the Assembly of Orzammar, you are hereby sentenced to exile and death. Your name is from this point forward stripped from the records. You are no longer a person, nor a memory. You are to be cast into the deep roads with only sword and shield. Dare to redeem your life by fighting the enemies of Orzammar until your death. Do you have anything to say before the sentence is carried out? I understand your anger. You should have been allowed to defend yourself. Had I the power to stop this, I would have. Look me in the eye and tell me you didn't do this. For your father's sake. I believe you. That means Balin planned this from the start. Believe me, I will spend the rest of my days making sure Balin does not profit by his deeds. Your father asked me to give these to you. This sword and shield are of fine dwarven make. Strike a blow at our enemies. I will. Open the doors and let the condemned walk through. May the stone accept you when you fall.